Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Jeremy Scott Fitness Podcast Radio Show, coming to you on this Wednesday, June the 12th, 2024. Hopefully, it finds you staying safe and staying sweaty all at the same time. On today's episode, we are running through a little piece from Matt Gray, just talking about 10 habits that can help your life. Just 10 things to kind of throw into your day. Some of these you guys might already do. Some of you might do all of them. Some of you might do none of them. I think there's great value in each one of these, kind of putting them in your back pocket for future use, or if you can implement them starting even tomorrow, I think it can go a long way to just help you to live a healthier, happier, more badass life all around. So that is what we are digging into today across the board. I have a lot of stuff here going on, so I'm trying to kind of figure out how to tackle this episode in a nutshell. Quick housekeeping things before we jump off. One, a Jeremy Scott Fitness app. Obviously, you guys know jeremyscottfitness.app. Links in the show notes. You get a week for free on me. Rebuilt programs in there. 47-day transformations in there. Our 10 weeks to ripped. Our cut and jacked. Man, we have so many programs. We're loading a new Ultimate Core Trainer from the great and powerful BJ Gaddour. That is coming to the app. All of the workouts are in there. Just got to put the pieces together, and that should be here probably in the next week or so. That is free for everybody. We are going to run our Summer Advanced Metcon Challenge coming up here July the 1st. We'll get that out to register probably sometime next week. The grand prize winner will fly you out here. You get to hang out at the facility. You can train with us. I'll put you at one of the Scottsdale hot spots here, so you can be in the mix, enjoy the weather. Don't come here in August or September. Plan it for a later day if you do happen to win, but that is going on inside the app as well. And again, all my weekly workouts are in there. You guys can join at any time, try it, see if you like it, and stay on for a couple of pennies a day. Ton of fun stuff coming there, and new stuff load every single week. JeremyScottFitness.app to check it out. Shout out to my friends at JLab Pro. I still think they have the Memorial Day sale going on. That's where we get our protein, turmeric, collagen, and krill oils. If you guys want to check any of that stuff out, it's just in the show notes under the JLab Pro. It's just jeremyscottfitness.jlabpro.com. We usually have discount codes for everything. I think right now MD27 saves you money on all the things in there. And then a quick shout out to our friends at Dry Farms Wine. dryfarmwines.com/JeremyScottFitness. Get you a bottle of wine. Get the next bottle for a penny. Great for gifts. It's organic wine. They don't fuck around. It's one of Heather's personal favorites. That's why we partner with them. So those guys are there for you. And you already know, talking about AG1, the one supplement to take pretty much every single day and I never miss. We actually wrote an email this week. I think it comes out on Friday. Just talking about gut health in general. And it's one of the big reasons I do take AG1. Obviously, it kind of covers the gaps in a lot of the stuff in terms of micronutrients and things that I need. But they've been doing a lot of research and a lot of studies recently, and they've shown one where AG1 has been shown in these studies is going to double the amount of healthy bacteria. And the healthy bacteria, as you guys know, work together to break down food. It's been known to alleviate bloating, promote digestion, keep you more regular, and aid in just your digestive comfort in general. And we know gut health and how you feel and how your brain functions. Everything is connected at the end of the day. So if you can keep your gut healthy, I think it's a huge piece of it. So this is the one thing that I do on top of eating the fermented foods and the things that I typically do in my normal diet. But this is one thing I take, and I don't ever miss it. And again, it's packed with prebiotics, probiotics, digestive enzymes, magnesium, B vitamins, vitamin C, zinc, you name it. So if you're looking for like a foundational nutritional supplement, this would be the thing that I would take. If you want a free sample, 100% on me, hit me up. I don't care where you live. We'll send a sample right to your front door. You can try it for free. If you like it, we'll hook you up with a year's supply of free vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with order 1. But if you want to try it, no strings attached, no questions asked, hit me up and we will get you some. Otherwise, the link's in the show notes here, drinkag1.com/Jeremy Scott to get you all of the free stuff today. And all other sponsors we're going to throw in the show notes here. Same as my Built Different Mastermind group that I'm running with Dave DiLorenzo. If you're a solopreneur, entrepreneur, or somebody in corporate America looking to have a better work-life balance and maybe climb the corporate ladder and success hack your way to the top, that is what that group is for. The link is in the notes if you guys want to check it out. So, couple of quick things here. I'm going to rip off this episode relatively fast today for you guys. I am coming to you from my house just because schedule wise, there's probably right now at least 30 people in our facility. It is loud. Probably some kids there because it's summertime. It's not a spot I can actually record in at the moment. That's called running a business, everybody. And I'm at my house. My old senior dog is asleep in my bedroom. My puppy, Aspen, which I took to the park today, is asleep literally right behind me, touching this chair. I had her play with another 1.5-year-old dog, so she's hopefully exhausted. So if it doesn't get loud here, we'll call it a miracle. If somebody knocks on the door, that's how it's going to be. So at least my house is a little quieter. Not to give you guys an update on everything that goes on in my home, but I did have a leak in my plumbing, in my wall actually, coming from the waste arm and the drain in my kitchen. This is almost 2 weeks ago, where I'd stepped on the floor and it was wet underneath. And long story short, we've had a lot of people here. We've had their restoration fans blowing for like 10 days. They ripped out a good chunk of my wood flooring in my kitchen. They ripped out all the bottom cabinets. The plumbing actually fixed now, so I can use my sink and use my dishwasher, which I haven't been able to do for at least like 10 days. So Heather and I were doing dishes in the bathtub, which is always fun. And then just obviously getting stuff takeout, because washing your dishes in your bathtub, especially when you have two dogs who are curious about everything, is not always the funnest thing in the day. And honestly, just a pain in the ass. And so at the moment, the fans are gone. We have people coming giving us quotes because most likely we're going to have to replace all of my flooring unless they can match it, which is 10 years old, so I don't think they can. So you're talking, kitchen, living room space, kind of dining room or front space, and then down the hallways. We have a lot of wood flooring here that's going to have to go. So we have a project in our hands. And obviously no cabinets. They had to bang out the brick wall on the back of my house to get to the piping. So I have tape and plastic on the outside of my house, and then I had to kind of MacGyver my own plastic tape. I basically cut a bunch of trash bags and then used athletic tape to tape the inside of my house so I don't have a giant fucking hole going from the inside to the outside, as it's 110 degrees here and the AC is just blasting. So needless to say, it's been a fun couple weeks here. But albeit as much of a pain in the ass as it is to not have a kitchen sink and a dishwasher, and then you get those back, but you still have, no flooring, and you got no cabinets, and you have essentially a hole through the brick wall of your house from the inside to the outside during the hottest fucking time of the year. All luxury problems. They really are. I've been through enough shit in my life. I've lived through enough. I've seen enough. I have enough perspective. It's not fun. It's an inconvenience for sure. It's expensive. Your insurance covers what they cover, but they don't cover the other things. So, you take a huge money hit and you take a huge inconvenience hit, but you're lucky enough to, you own a home and you have people who can come and fix it, and there's still people in the trades. And so it's a perspective thing for sure. So if those things happen in your life, obviously they do suck and they're not fun and you have to deal with them, and you can't really pass the buck to somebody else. Obviously my wife is great and she does a lot of it since she works from home, so that's a blessing for sure. But yeah, all those things are a pain in the ass, man. They just really are. And I think everybody who's ever owned a home has dealt with something similar probably more than once on your journey, and you probably have to deal with it again. But that's where I'm at. So I'll try to give you this episode quick, home edition, before we have people coming in and out of here, which they've been doing every other day, basically, between insurance adjusters and contractors and restoration people and plumbers. And that's been my 2-week journey here. But with that, we're going to talk about the 10 things that can kind of help you, hopefully, just live a more badass life in general. I'm going to share this quote. Heather had clipped it to me a while back. She gets down these rabbit holes and find these nice little nuggets that I do like to share with you guys as well. And it's just a screenshot from an Instagram account. I think it's House of Leaders, I believe is the name. And it's just a quote that says, "A friend told me this quote, and it changed my life. You're not healing to be able to handle trauma, pain, anxiety, and depression. You're used to those. You're healing to be able to handle joy, to accept happiness back into your life. I'll read it again real quick, because I think it's something that hits a little different if you can understand it. You're not healing to be able to handle the trauma, pain, anxiety, and depression. You are already used to those things. You're healing to be able to handle joy, to accept happiness back into your life once you get past those things. It's a nice little nugget to kind of start your day, start your week, depending on where you're at on your journey. And if your journey is going awesome, put it in your back pocket for a day where maybe it's not going, as great as it is right now. Because as we know, like I put on this t-shirt, if you're watching on YouTube, everything is temporary, my friends. Both the good and the bad. There's ups and downs. There's ebbs and flows. And you just got to kind of take the lumps as they go. And so if you're going through some shit, it's not just to go through some shit. It's just to accept the awesomeness that is going to come your way and wash over you like never before. So with that, we are talking 10 habits that'll make you hopefully happier than most of the people walking around on the earth if you can just do these and put these little pieces into play. And like I say, it's not what you do some of the time that matters most. It's what you do most of the time that matters most. And this was from Matt Gray. Actually, I have him on LinkedIn. He's the CEO. I think he has a YouTube page as well. MATTGRA, Matt Gray it is. He does a newsletter as well. Puts out a lot of great little nuggets, and this definitely was one of them. So I do a majority of these in the way that I do them, and I'll share with you as we go. I'll give you guys the 10. Take what you want, leave the rest, as the great and powerful David Jack would always say, and we'll go from there. The first one, just choose optimism. Again, easy to do when life is going great. Hard to do when life throws you a curveball or just kicks you right in the face. But if you can be optimistic more often than not, it will increase your commitment to your goals in all areas of your life. It'll attract the right people around you, and it can change your mindset around mistakes and around failures. And what I try to do personally with most things is just once you get over the initial being pissed off and mad and angry and, denial or whatever all the stages are, and you get into this acceptance of whatever situation is happening, if you can see some positivity in it, it changes everything. And now there is situations where you can't, be optimistic. But when it's like little shit like this, it's like, well, my kitchen's fucked and I got to do this, home renovation shit that I really didn't want to do or have time for. And it kind of hinders my, travel schedule and summer schedule, and it's slowing other things down. But hey, on the bright side, like I'm lucky enough to own a home that has running water and that has, heat and air conditioning. I'm lucky enough to have insurance and, be connected to people who can, do plumbing work and can do masonry work and can do flooring work. And you have Google and you can get reviews and you can get referrals from friends. It's just things like that where, yeah, the situation might not be ideal, but if you can be optimistic about it, it does tend to attract the right type of people, and it does change the way that you frame things in your mind. So if you can be optimistic, like most of you know, it's a game changer. The second one is just write daily, journaling, if you will. It can become therapeutic. It's a way for people to kind of explore passions, and you can write about your future. You can write about your past. You can kind of find your calling, your purpose, or you can at least track progress. I'm not a huge writing daily person like that because I write for work. We do email and our content creation, our blog stuff. But what I do like to do, if you're not a person who doesn't write, obviously these podcasts, are a journal for me in a way, sharing information for you guys, but also I never go back and listen to them, but I could and be like, oh, I remember that season of life, at least the first, 10 minutes of an episode. But what I do like to do is I'll just scroll back on my phone, and of all the pictures and the videos and the things that we've done and the places we've been, and just it's a nice kind of reminder, especially when you think you're not making progress, or you think you're stalling, and you think you haven't made any moves, and you look back um, in a journal. I think it's great if you're coming back from an injury. It's nice to know, hey, on day 7 I felt like shit. Day 22 I felt good. Day 33 I felt awful. Day 42, it's like you can see the seasons and the ebbs and flows. For me, just going back on my phone and looking in my camera roll, uh, it's a nice reminder. And not that it's like maybe therapeutic, but it's, oh, okay, I remember that. Like it's a good, and sometimes there's bad memories in there too, of seasons, but a lot of it is just nice, fun stuff that I think, I actually forgot. And so if you can do something where there's an outlet like that, whether it be, talking, whether it be podcasting, whether it be writing, journaling, all those types of things, I think can be super healthy. Third one, probably should be the first one. Just take care of your health. Obviously, you guys know that. You listen to me. Um, we talk about health and all the pillars here: physical, mental, spiritual, emotional. And you do what works for you, right? Like your mind, if you need to meditate for some people, if it's your body, if you can exercise daily, if you can move daily, if you can do mobility daily, if you can do some form of strength training, if you like to bike, swim, hike, yoga, pickleball, Zumba, I don't give a shit. Do what you like to do, move your body. It's a gift that you can. And then if it's like for your soul, right? Like, you're going to cultivate meaningful relationships. You're going to take breaks when you need to. You're going to turn it on when you want to turn it on. And when I say health, it's just doing things that make you feel good and that you enjoy. You're always going to have to do hard shit. There's always going to be tough things you have to accomplish. There's no growth, without resistance. No different than the weight room as it is in, normal life. And I said this like a week ago, and maybe I said it the other day to just people in passing, but I swear I said this in the episode last week. One of my favorite things to do, because here in the summertime, it's 200 degrees. It's hot. I don't necessarily love it when it's 110, but I live here. I chose to live here. I'm not going to sit and complain about the heat in Arizona in the summertime. It's like complaining about being cold in Minnesota in January. You know where you are. You bought what you bought. That's what it is. So with that, one of my favorite things to do, because obviously I have this senior dog that won't be around much longer. So I try to just enjoy the moments with her. And then we have this psychopath that actually leaps into our pool now after us. Will like leap into the pool and loves swimming and knows how to swim. And one of my favorite things is like just come home after I've worked my ass off all day. It's 110, and I get in the pool and I grab a beer and I just play with my dog. I throw the ball for the dog. I pet my old senior dog that wants to lay by the pool and be part of it, even though she doesn't want to swim. And then I just swim around with my young animal. Like that's what I'm doing. Like I grab an ice cold beer and I sit in the pool. And is that the healthiest thing to do in the world? Probably not. I go, but mentally, I like doing it. So like, and I do that every single day? No. Do I do that in January, in February, March? No, I don't. It's not 110. I go, but in this season of life, after a hard day's work and, you know, living the life that I lived, like I do get some, you know, mental, emotional health benefits from doing that. And again, you don't have to do it with a beer. You can do it without it. You can do it with a diet soda. You can do it with the water. You can do it with nothing. Like some days I just go out there and we just hang out and play. But that's become one of my favorite things in the summertime. And that's, I do think, a healthy thing for me. Coming from someone who has, you know, been overly restrictive for most of their life and everything that they do in order to, you know, look a certain way, move a certain way, feel a certain way. Those are healthy things to me. And you just have to find yours, the things that make you the happiest. It might be, you know, coffee in the morning with your husband or wife. It might be walking your dog. It might be, you know, tucking your kids into bed. There's a million things it could be that you just enjoy, that help you, you know, re-energize, recharge, they calm you or they excite you, they entertain you, they're fun for you. I do think all of those things are important. So physical, mental, spiritual, emotional health is vital to really take care of, especially as you get older, because it doesn't just magically get easier. The next one, pay it forward. Really simple. If you can, if you have the opportunity to, and we all do in some way, shape, or form, random acts of kindness can boost your own well-being selfishly. The waves of positivity that you can send into the world, they do ripple back to you. I believe in karma. I believe in that. Now, shitty things happen to good people, yes, all the time, and sometimes there's no rhyme or reason to the fuckery that goes on in the world. But I do believe if you smile, you hold doors open for people. You're just polite. You're kind. You give people the benefit of the doubt. You have empathy for others and understand you don't know what they're carrying through their day, and you just try to take the high road if you can and be the better person. Give 51, take 49, as we say. You're giving 51% always. You're only taking 49, so you're always, leaving somebody's cup more full than you're taking, and that can't always be the case. Sometimes you're going to have to. We all need help at some point. We all need to be the hand that, reaches out to get picked up versus the hand that's always picking up. But for the most part, if you can just do random kind things for friends, family, anybody in the world, I think the world's a better place for it. And I do think those positive things do come back to pay you in full at some point in your life. I'm just a huge believer in karma that way. I have to. If I didn't believe in that, it's just like it's sad and depressing to kind of think of it the other way. Number 5, talk about this on damn near every episode. You guys know, so I'll make it quick. Do not compare yourself to others. You already know comparison is the thief of joy. And if you personally are 1% better today than you were yesterday, or 1% better this week than you were last week, or 1% better this month than last month, you are winning. You are making progress. You can't look at everybody else and be jealous and envious of all the things that you think that they have and how happy you think that they are, and you're not. You just have to focus on you, where you are at and where you are going, and where you were and where you are now and where you want to be. That's all that matters, my friends. Number 6, prioritize growth. Every morning you can ask yourself, how can I improve today? How can I be a little bit better? And that goes with the comparison thing. It's just you versus you. It really is. Can I spend 5 more minutes on mobility? Can I make one better food choice? Can I make one better drinking choice? Can I make one better eating choice? Can I get an extra 500 steps in? What's one thing I can add? Can I save an extra $50 this month? Can I invest, an extra $100 into my retirement? Can I pay off, that 200 extra dollars of credit card debt, whatever it may be? I just think the little incremental progress you can make each and every day, it's those little habits that stack up. Again, if you do the little things right, as we say, the big things take care of themselves. And that's what it is. It's prioritizing this little growth. Now, you can make monster leaps and monster jumps, and that stuff's all awesome too. But just focusing on incrementally getting better in the areas that you want to improve on leads to an overall better life. That's how all of us got everywhere. We all started doing something for a career or sports, or if it's writing or singing or you name it, and we sucked. We were all terrible at the beginning. And over time, we got better. We got 1% better here, 2% better there, 1% better here. And eventually we ended up, being pretty proficient or good or even great at some things in our life. And that's what prioritizing growth is all about. Number 7, constantly learning and reading, I think is key. Whether it's an audiobook or a written book, full disclaimer, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I listen to a lot of books. I don't read as many books, but I do have a couple hard copy books I keep in my backpack, and I do read quite a bit online when people send me stuff, and I find it interesting. I think learning, whether it's books or podcasts or whatever it be, maybe in videos, gives you access to stories and thoughts and leaders and philosophers and people who came before you, and you can learn a lot from people in the past who share their, their failures and their wins and the journey that they had in their life. And it can be entertainment as well. It can be tied into the health part, for your mind, body, and soul. I do think um, listening and reading and even watching, there's something to be said about escapism. There's something to be said about watching documentaries and things like that. Like, I do think they are critical, to you just becoming more educated and more well-rounded, and just constantly finding things that stimulate you, both in a like educational way, but also in just a comical way. Like, I do think I'm a fan of just watching funny shit. Like, if you watch Tires on Netflix, it's like, I think there's 6 episodes, maybe they're about 20 some minutes a piece. Doesn't take a lot of time to Shane Gillis and Kiever and those guys. Like, it's super funny. Like, it's inappropriate, funny shit. You turn it on, it's brainless, and you get a couple laughs along the way. And I recently just started watching Righteous Gemstones for the first time. I've never seen it before. I'm just on season 1, so don't send me any spoiler stuff. But it's hilarious. Like, it's funny as hell just to sit there. The episodes are about 30, 35 minutes, and just put it on at night and just have a laugh. My mom actually did recommend the Loudermilk series, the dude from Office Space. It's based in Seattle. Heather and I just watched like a couple episodes the other day. Again, just fun, funny, dumb shit, just to kind of fill your mind and kind of just let go. Because again, most of my day is reading or listening to audiobooks and listening to podcasts. And sometimes you just want to unplug. And I do think that's a huge thing. Some people do it way too much, obviously. But if you can just relax and unwind and just let go, I think that is very healthy and therapeutic as well for people. And a lot of people struggle doing that. If it can get you out of your own head, if it can get you out of your own problems, and if it can just let you, chill the fuck out for a little bit, I'm a fan of it. Number 8, give sincere appreciation. And this can cut a couple different ways, but like when I'm in a slump or I'm just on the struggle bus, being grateful helps me get through it or pull me out of it at times, by putting my problems in perspective. And I say this way more this year than I've ever said it before. Someone else's problems don't take away your problems, and that's why I'm not a huge fan of comparing, but there is a perspective there for sure. And I have a lot of friends that are, over 40, mid 40s, and a little bit older that, this year, for whatever reason, have been going through some shit, man. Just some real stuff. That them, their wives, their kids, a combination of them all. And not that I'm comparing, but I look at like the shit that I have to roll with. And again, I got to deal with shit like everybody else does. I'm not immune to it. I'm not immune to, mental, physical, emotional, shit. Like, I'm just like everybody else. My knees hurt like your knees hurt, I get sick like you get sick. I have a family like you have a family, and we're all crazy. We're all fucked up. We all have stuff to chew on. I am not immune to it. You might see me and I might look normal and I might look happy just like you, and I might be having the worst fucking day in the world, Like, we all do the same shit. Like, we're as different as we all are. We are all very similar, You can mask a lot of stuff. You can hide a lot of stuff. And if you do it forever and you never really zoom out, it can consume you and it can swallow you up. And I've been there. But just trying to be grateful for what you do have, and not being a little bitch worrying about all the stuff that you don't have, does help me put things in perspective, especially when I talk to, again, when you really have friends and you really talk to people and you really get to know them and they really are willing to share with you some of the shit. You're like, oh man, you have to deal with stuff too. I'm walking around thinking I'm the only one who has to deal with stuff. And then you talk to your friends and they're actually real with you because they're your real friends. You're like, oh shit, all of you have to deal with stuff as well. We're all just walking around wearing our best, Dexter mask, just trying to act like we're completely, normal, high functioning humans, happy all the time. And that's just not the case. So I do think if you're in a slump, just look at what you do have versus what you don't have and try to put things in perspective. And you might have some stuff where you're really dealing with it and it's just one of those seasons and there's nothing you can do about it. But you still have great stuff in your life. I can promise you that. And if you're somebody who's just sweating the small stuff and the bullshit, you got to let that go because one day the real shit's going to roll around and it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks. And so you just have to be thankful for the good days. Be happy for the days you wake up and you feel good. Be happy for the days you wake up and are motivated. Be happy for the days you wake up and your family is healthy and everybody around you is having a relatively good time. That's sincere gratitude and that's sincere appreciation. And it's an art form and it's a practice that a lot of people forget because we get so busy wrapped up in our lives and wrapped up in our own shit and wrapped up with what we don't have and what opportunities aren't coming our way and what's not going right. We kind of glaze over all the things that we do have and all the things that are going right. Number 9, reduce your wants. I'm not saying you don't work for things and you don't want things. And I'm not saying don't buy a house and buy a car and buy all the stuff you want. But just know real happiness, like at your fucking core level, is not just external objects. It's not just things. Real happiness is having an internal sense of fulfillment and of meaning and having people in your life who love you and give a shit about you and care about you and the shared experiences and time you have with them. At least for me, that's what it is. A more, and again, I got a lot of stuff. I have cars, I have a house, I have a commercial space. Like I have things. I have plenty of things. I have plenty of responsibilities. But the more kind of minimalist-ish lifestyle I can have, the happier I tend to be. The less things holding me back, the less things kind of weighing me down. And you run a business, you do different things. Like we got a lot of moving pieces. There are a lot of things I'm responsible for. There's a lot of stuff that we got to pay for. There's people we have to pay. There's things that go on in life. And you're never going to escape everything. But if you can cut out a lot of the noise and a lot of the bullshit and simplify your life, at least for me, I tend to find myself be a lot happier when I have less complex decisions to make and I have less just noise and bullshit around me, especially when life throws you a curveball and something doesn't go exactly as planned. That's when you really appreciate those moments. When everything's going great, you can deal with whatever. When stuff's going sideways, it's easier if you have less, external noise and shit dragging you down. So I do think reducing your wants can be very helpful in that. And number 10 is the last one here. Just ignore the non-essentials. Say no to distractions. Really focus your energy on what's important. And learn to define, what your target is and learn what you really want. What makes you happy, and what makes you healthy, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and cut out the bullshit, cut out the bullshit people, cut out the bullshit tasks, just anything that is not essential to your life and your happiness. If you can get rid of it and just avoid the distractions, I think overall you'll find more peace in your life. And I say this a lot. Nothing is worth your peace. No job, no amount of money, no title, no anything is worth your inner peace. It's just not. It's at the end of the day, it's the little things. Can you, sleep relatively well at night? Can you do something for work that you enjoy or you like, or at least you don't hate it? Can it provide you a type of lifestyle that makes you relatively happy? Do you have good people in your life? Do you have a routine and a practice that generally makes you feel good? Everybody has stress. Everybody has anxiety. Everybody will at some point or another not sleep well. They'll have to deal with a friend, family member, sick loved one. They'll have to deal with an injury or a loss, whatever it may be. All of those things are going to happen to everyone in life. That is just how it works. But if you can put these pieces into play when those things do come your way and there's a more stressful season of life, or there's a transitional period of life, or you become injured, or something just isn't working right, when you have these habits in place, it makes that shit a whole hell of a lot easier to deal with. So, quick recap: choose optimism, write daily, take care of your health, pay it forward, don't compare yourself to others, prioritize growth, constantly read, give sincere appreciation, reduce your wants, and ignore the non essential bullshit that is just noise and just it's holding you back and it's drowning you and it's not allowing you to become, the happiest version of yourself. And again, this was just a great little, checklist and piece by Matt Gray. You can get him on LinkedIn. He's over at YouTube as well, I believe. And I think he has a newsletter also. So that, my friends, is just the 10 habits to help your life. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you guys as always. Hopefully, you guys got a couple nuggets out of here, or maybe heard something a little bit different that can help you, on your journey this week, or as you're doing mobility or walking or whenever you guys happen to listen to this. If there's any topics you guys want me to cover that we have not got to yet, this is episode 595. We've talked about so many things. We've had so many people on, but I'll continue to keep pumping out stuff and giving you anything that is helpful to you. Keep updating you on the things that we're doing here in-house and online and all that. But yeah, I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your Wednesday. I'll keep you updated on my house demo and the bullshit that we're having to deal with here. Never fun, but hey, it's a luxury problem, and there's perspective in that for sure that I'm gathering throughout all this. If you happen to be on Apple Podcasts, drop it a 5-star, leave a comment. I'd appreciate it. If you're on Spotify, drop it a 5-star. You can leave a comment there. You guys can always subscribe on YouTube. Like, subscribe, watch, share, all that good stuff. And if you want a free sample of AG1, hit me up. I'm happy to send it to you wherever you guys are at. If you want a discount on the JLab stuff, that's in the show notes, our Build Different Mastermind, and all those amazing things as well. So I need to wrap this up. I got to head to the store. I got to pay my taxes. Never fun. I got to get to the bank as well. I got to get back to work, and I'm going to come home. Maybe get in my pool again today. Play with my dog. Who knows? That sounds like a fun plan. So I think I'm going to do that. So I hope you guys do something fun today for yourself, something that you enjoy, something that you have fun doing. If you can do it with Heather, joins me later in the day as well, which is fun. So it's a nice time to spend time with my wife, spend time with my dogs, just doing some shit in your backyard that you like to do. That can be the highlight of your day. Sometimes, again, it's the little things that we often think we'll be able to do forever that we put off and we kind of take for granted. But it's those things I find that if you implement them and make those habits in your life, they make you the happiest over damn near everything else. So take that with you this week, everybody. And until next time, eat well, train hard, be nice to people, and please, you guys, keep doing shit you love with people you enjoy because your life is too short not to. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.